everyone, welcome back to Yellow Cottage Soapery. Today we are making maple pecan waffle soap. I'm gonna warm up, I have a little bit of melt and pour in here. I made these little pecans to go on each bar along with a little waffle. I'm gonna warm this up real quick so I can drizzle it on the top. I'm just gonna use this, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit on the top. In the meantime, I'll show you I'm using Lustrous brown mica from Nurture's soap. And then I have Poppycock from MadMicas. And like I said, I'm gonna put these on the top. I don't know what I was gonna say. All right, let's just try this. So it kind of looks like syrup, like maple. Where I'm from is a very small town in upstate New York. And the one thing that my town is known for is the Maple Festival that they have every year. So they tap the maple trees and then they have like a sugar shack. It shows how they make it into syrup. I haven't been to that in years. But that's like, my town only had one stoplight. It was very, very small. My graduating class had like 52 kids. So I always loved the Maple Festival. We had a pageant and everything for the Maple Festival queen. So this will be dry by the time I go to put them on top. Now it does say that this fragrance discolors to a light tan, which is fine. I am going to use a little bit of whitener to try to get it a little white so it doesn't turn too dark, but I'm fine with it turning tan. Okay. All right, we're going to put these off to the side to dry so they'll be good to go on the top when we're done. That is just melt and pour soap. You can get it in clear, white, whatever, and you can color it, you can fragrance it, and you just basically melt it and pour it in your mold. So this is a little warm still. I heated it up. I'm hoping that the fragrance will cooperate. I've never used this one before. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to, all right, we're gonna blend this up. The kaolin clay is in the bottom. The fragrance smells so good. It smells like breakfast, and I'm thinking it'd be a really nice kitchen soap or any kind of soap. My lye is also still a little warm, so I think I didn't have to strain it because I just made it, and when I make it and then use it like within a few hours, I don't have any lye lint. It's when it sits in the cool space where it kind of gets a little lye lint on the top. And that's because I do a water discount so that my bars get harder quicker. I'm just gonna do some swirls in this and kind of keep it simple. Let's divide these off into the two colors. I'm gonna use these to pour into the lighter mixture, and then we're probably gonna do a hanger swirl. Let's put our white in here, and we'll do our colors. Yeah, Poppycock. In the description below, you will find links to these, to the websites that have these colors. And affiliate links, I get like a small portion of it if you follow that link. I'm just gonna try to start with a lighter base, just so that if it does discolor, it won't be too dark. Beautiful, it's staying nice and fluid. We haven't added the scent yet though, that could make it speed up. Oh, this color is so pretty. It's so sparkly too. And a little bit more brown. And let's stir these up real quick, make sure the micas are all mixed in, and then we'll add our fragrance. This is so pretty. I love the micas that have the sparkle to them. It shows up in the soap too. The fall soap that I made, if you guys can see, it's like all these, like the top has got all this sparkle. All right, let's see how we do with the fragrance. I wonder if it'll turn it immediately or if it'll just be like while it's curing. Well, it's beautiful. It's not doing anything crazy yet. All right, well, let's get pouring. It's very nice and fluid, so this is gonna be good. All right, let's start out with, what should we start out with? All right, I'm just gonna, let's start with the brown. Just gonna pour it kind of thin. I'm gonna pour all of it, but like a small amount, which I'm gonna put on the top. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna pour a little bit more white. All right, let me get a tool so I can swirl. And clean it up a little bit. And I'll just finish putting these colors on top. Now we're just going to put what we have left on here, and then I'm just going to do a little swirl, and then we can add our embeds. Clean this up, we'll go ahead and swirl it. Okay, there's that. I'm gonna let this set up for just a little bit because if I try to put the embeds in now, I'm afraid they will sink down in. So I'll be back when they are ready to put on top. Okay, we're back. I think it's fine. I stuck a pecan and a little waffle right there, and I think they're gonna be good. So I'm gonna start down at this end just to try to get my spacing. I want 3 rows of 8. I'm going to first do these. All right, now we're just gonna add like a little pecan. I do want to make sure these are pushed down enough because we're going to need to be able to cut between them, and I don't want it to be too high for my cutter. All right, so let me figure out the spacing now. If I want 8 down, I'm gonna go, I can move and adjust them if I need to. So I'll do 1 here in the center. All right, so I might be able to do, these look like they're going to be really big bars if I do that, but I don't want to make them too small. Now I feel like I can line them up better. All right. I just want to make sure that everything is good as far as cutting between the rows here. All right, so there is maple pecan waffle. And we'll be back tomorrow to cut into it. Have a great day. Okay, we are back and we are going to go ahead and cut this maple pecan waffle soap. I cut the outer logs this morning and I was noticing like some little spots in it. I'm assuming it's the fragrance oil that hasn't absorbed. You can kind of see them in that. I've only had it happen one time with Sandalwood Rose fragrance that it does that and it seems to reabsorb. So I'm hoping that's what happens so I don't lose this whole batch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just an aesthetic thing. And I just don't, I'm gonna kind of wait and see what it does. But I wanted to show you guys the cut because it actually turned out really cute. Side. So then you can see the little waffle and the pecan on that side. This fragrance had, I think, 3 or 6, I can't remember the percentage of vanilla in it. So I knew it would discolor a little bit, but I've never seen it do it with like spots. So you can see a little bit of yellow that looks like fragrance to me. So I'm hoping it just reabsorbs back in. I used the percentage that I'm supposed to use for, you know, what they recommend for it. Any of my soapy friends have this happen before and know what's going on with that. I also had one that I had to throw away. I probably should have saved it to see if it ended up absorbing, but it had brown spots in it and I had just used that fragrance. It was a new bottle, but I just had used it and it worked fine. So anybody that might know what's going on here. Alright, we'll just cut the end of this off. So I'm going to just see what this does to decide if I'm going to sell it or not. I'll do a pH test on it, but I think they turned out cute otherwise. I like the shape of them, and I think the little thing on top is cute. But okay, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.